Hello,
Hi.
welcome to PTZOptics Live.
We're so excited to have you here today with us. We're talking about voice tracking today, a very exciting topic, new to our PTZ Optics cameras in beta, might I add. But we're excited to demonstrate this for you today, talk about the benefits, and can't forget there's a giveaway at the end of the show too, so stay tuned for that.
All right. Also, the beta Discord is now out, so you can go to ptzoptics.com/beta to get all the latest features and discuss directly with our engineers what they're working on and the latest firmware, which includes now this audio tracking firmware, which we're going to take a peek at. Please ask questions in the chat today. We are live and we're here for you to answer any questions you have about your PTZ Optics products. And then, as Tess said, we're going to have a giveaway of a PTZ Optics Move SE. But let me turn this over to John to do a little Share Your Vision segment.
Yes, absolutely. So here at PTZ Optics, we do something called Share Your Vision. So if you go to your social platform of choice, you can enter in hashtag Share Your Vision and just share your setup. Share how you're using any of our PTZ Optics products, whether you're at home, you're on the field. And today we're going to show off a little bit of a combo of a Move SE and a Super Joy from the football sidelines. This is coming from Sideline Power, where they have a Move SE, as you see there, kind of mounted all the way really high up at the end zone of a football field, and then they're controlling it with a Move SE on the sidelines there. So a cool little scrimmage there out in Kansas. So big shout out to Sideline Power for sending and sharing your vision. And remember, if you have any sort of setup up there, anything, sports, education, house of worship, whatever it is, show us how you're using PTZ Optics, and we will love to share it here on the show. And yeah, please let us know and ask any questions in the chat like Paul mentioned, and stay tuned for the giveaway of the Move SE.
I'm glad you chose Sideline Power. I was actually working with them to get them set up with Hive so that they can control the end zone camera remotely.
Wow.
Because there's a lot of schools who have volunteers and students who want to help out in their broadcast clubs. Yeah. And at the school football field there, it's a high school football, they need somebody to zoom in to the end zone to where they scored.
Wow. And now someone can do it at home from their bed if they want.
Which is a perfect segue for our update today. We wanted to let everyone know that PTZ Optics has a new broadcast club that we're sponsoring. The first ever Stream Geeks Academy will be open just next week in Tillman Island, Maryland. So the first class starts September 9th. I've been doing a lot of work getting the green screen set up, all of the streaming and all the books and everything. And you can actually see here at www.streamgeeks.academy, we have some information about this because a couple years ago, we actually published a book called The Accelerated Broadcast Club Curriculum, which is all set up to really show students and teachers how they can set up a cool broadcast club. Let me see if we can view this full screen here. This is a classroom with 18 laptops. And so all the students are going to be connected over NDI. And we're going to have just a really cool setup. I'm really excited about the different roles that students will have here. It's incredible. Some of you might be involved in video production, but if you're trying to get more volunteers at your church or more students involved in your broadcast club at your school, you can maybe take some information from this website. We're going to have a director, camera operators, audio managers, graphics, script writers, studio managers, on-air talent, commentators. There will be a social media manager. So I think there's almost like 20 different roles that when coming together as a team can make a really great broadcast club and production.
I'm so excited for this. I think it's such a great thing for these students to get involved with and get ahead of potential careers too.
Yeah, what's the job that kids always say they want to do when they grow up? Be a YouTuber. I want to do YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved something like this when I was a kid. Just to be able to like have this technology and to be able to have a class like this of people that can teach you. I love that, and I would have loved it as a kid. And
Yeah, if you have if you're involved with your local school, or if there's a local community that's interested in this, we are really trying to help foster these broadcast clubs, providing educational resources, books, courses, and help. So you can email me directly at paul@ptzoptics.com, and I can send you all of this information. Something we're passionate about, giving back to the community. And this is our first chapter, hopefully of many to come, of the Stream Geeks Academy. All right. So today we are going to be talking about voice tracking. It is now built in directly to the Move 4Ks with the latest firmware, which is in beta. So we're going to show it to you today. Let's start with a little PowerPoint.
Yeah, let's review.
Okay. So the beta is out now for the Move 4K and the Link 4K. And it allows you to use voice-based voice tracking for your audiovisual system with compatible microphones. So we can do up to 16 unique zones, and you can call PTZ camera presets, or you can actually integrate this directly with a video switcher, including OBS, vmix, and InnoGenie. So we'll show how this works. First of all, you do need to have one of the approved microphones. These microphones, such as Sennheiser, Shure, Televic, Nariva, and Yamaha, they're usually network connected, and they have the ability to share positional data. And Mike, I don't know if you want to show the Nariva system that we have in this studio really quickly to give the viewers a sense of what we have here. But this is a wall-mounted microphone array that is able to capture audio from the room and provide directional data directly to the PTZOptics Move 4K or Link 4K cameras. So that's it right there. We've got two of these in our studio, and they're going to be directing the cameras and doing the video switching. So really cool stuff. Thank you for that, Mike. So in a conference room, in a training room, in a corporate setting, if you've got an Nariva and you add a Move 4K, you can now use that information, and we'll show you how to do this. You can now connect these two together to create an auto tracking system. Nariva calls their system an audio mist. And this is just a really cool technology we'll demo today, where it can even pick up a whisper from the farthest edges of the room. So this will be fun to play with today. Nariva has a software that we'll demonstrate for you in a moment here that allows you to build out the zones. So for each unique zone, we've got our green screen here. We've got zone 1 and zone 2. Zone 3, I think, is where I'm sitting at the desk, and zone 2 is where John and Tess are. So we'll show that we actually have this setup integrated with vmix to switch the video based on where the microphone is hearing something. So this is going to be really interesting. It eliminates the need for manual camera adjustments. So if you're in a training room where you don't have a producer or someone to run the cameras and do the video switching, this is perfect. And it keeps the audience focused on the speaker. Now, you don't have to have multiple cameras, by the way. You can have, one camera, just calling PTZ presets as well.
Yep.
So it's a great way to get the most out of your camera system that you have by automatically moving them to the right places. And then it does support video switching with vmix, with OBS, and now InnoGenie, all available. And we're going to go ahead and show you how easy this is to set up. So Mike actually has this set up on his computer, so he's going to share his screen and walk us through the setup. And maybe John and Tess, you can chime in to explain how it's set up.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
So this right here is the PTZOptics firmware. So this is actually directly on the PTZOptics camera. And Mike is going to go ahead and log right in by entering his token. The tokens are free, I believe, and they come with the firmware.
Which you will get once you join the beta, which is via Discord.
Yeah, in the
Yep.
Discord. And what he'll do is he'll choose a compatible microphone. So he's going to choose the microphone that he wants to connect, which is a Nariva.
Yep.
That microphone has an IP address and a port. And once that information is in there, he has some settings for controlling some thresholds.
We got a question about these thresholds. Can you
Okay.
adjust voice tracking sensitivity or response time? Is this where you would do that?
Yeah. So this is where you have some option. Thresholds are essentially sensitivity.
Sensitivity.
So like how much audio are we talking about here? How long are we going to wait until we go to a silent, like for silence and things of that nature?
Right.
So this is where all the sensitivity settings are.
Perfect.
So Mike can go ahead and get that started by clicking the start button. And then he can go also, this is optional, but you can go over to the video switcher connection as well. And you can see he has it configured for vmix, which we're using for our stream today. Type in the IP address, the port, and there's usually a username and password in vmix and OBS as well.
Yep.
Once that information is in there, we can go to our dashboard. Oh, Mike's going to go ahead and hit the start button just to make sure this is running.
Yeah, you can find those settings under Web Controller on vmix as well. The port information and the IP address.
Oh, good to know.
And this is all running on the camera. No extra hardware needed. Now, we currently have this set up for 3 zones. So, Mike, why don't we really quickly show the Nariva side of this, and then we'll show these 3 zones as well. This is still in the PTZOptics camera. This is the Nariva software. So, in Nariva, if you're using Nariva, now there's different phones, you can see that's actually a live voice map there that Mike's showing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how you set up the zones. So you can see I'm talking there. Okay, so I must be zone 1 then. Oh, I'm zone 2.
It's hard to see from where
Oh,
we are.
sorry. Okay, now why don't you go ahead and talk?
So I should be in zone 3, I would presume.
Yep, that's probably you right there.
There I am. And you'll be in zone 3 as well.
Yeah, I'm in the same zone, so you should see the same audio just a little further. Yep, south.
Nice.
Little blips.
So that's our actual
Funny.
voices on that heat map there. This is the software that we use to build out these different zones. And then those will map directly to the PTZOptics Move 4K or Link 4K camera.
Yep. So you see we have Shure mics in front of us. That's obviously for the best audio quality to get on a podcast directly close to our mouths, but we're using the informational data in the microphone mist that Paul showed off there to find and locate exactly where that voice is coming from. So the camera knows exactly where to switch to.
Now going back to the Move 4K, just to finish this kind of walkthrough here, in the dashboard, I think it is, Mike. Here we go. There's 3 zones, and each zone you can decide what you want to do with it. So we can basically determine whether it's going to call a PTZ camera preset and actually move the camera when that zone is activated, or because we have vmix connected, we can actually choose which input in vmix, and you'll see that it actually retrieves all the input names. So it retrieves that from OBS, it retrieves that from vmix, and allows you to just say, hey, when someone's talking in this space, cut to this camera or that layout. It could be any type of layout in vmix or OBS or an InnoGenie Share 2 switcher. And based on the audio data coming in from any of these microphones that we listed as compatible, you can basically decide whether you want the camera to move or you want the video switcher to switch. So now there's one additional thing at the top there. There's the silence zone. Mm-hmm. So that is what happens when the threshold of silence, which we have set for 10 seconds. So if we're silent for 10 seconds, it's going to call that preset, which I believe is like a wide shot mic, or it may be, it's a wide shot. Okay, so there'll be, if we say
have it set to
silent for 10 seconds, a wide shot will come up. So are we ready to demo this now that we talked about it?
Yep.
Okay. So Mike's got it running. All right. So I guess I'm talking now. So it cuts to me. And this is the shot that it will cut to when I am talking.
And then if I want to steal control over here, I can start talking and get control over here.
And I can also start talking and steal control over here. Hi, everyone.
Wow. So this is a really cool tool for automating your productions. It's very popular in classrooms. It's popular in training spaces, and even in maybe small podcasts and things where you want to just have the whole system. Obviously, if you're using one of these approved microphones that already has this information out there, adding a Move 4K is a great option because you've already got your cameraman in the audio conferencing microphone that outputs this directional data.
Maybe we try to be silent for a couple seconds or 10 seconds and see if the silent mode will cue.
Yeah.
All right, let's be silent, which is awkward on a live stream. So.
Oh, wow. Oh, sorry.
All right, there you have it. I think we can complete the live demo portion of this, and maybe let's just give a snippet, Mike, if you don't mind, of the Nariva HDL 410, just so our audience can see which unit that we're working with today.
Yeah, so that was a demo of voice tracking with video switching. And as Paul mentioned, you can use this with one camera. So say if you have a lecture space, a classroom, and you only have one PTZ camera mounted on the ceiling, you could use this across up to 16 zones. So you could have, 12 different students or 15 different students, one for the teacher and the whiteboard, and that camera will move PTZ around the room based on the zones and the presets you've selected for your camera. So this can all be done with one camera, or it could be done with up to 16 cameras even.
Up to 16, that's right. Pretty cool. All right, so we got through the whole demo, it looks like. We can go to Q&A now.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if you want to learn more in the meantime, you can go to PTZOptics.com/voice, and that'll take you to our voice tracking page, where you can not only sign up for our beta, which takes you through our Discord sign-up process, but it'll also tell you a little bit more about the supported microphones if you want to know those, and just generally why voice tracking is important and why it might help you in your production.
Okay, Bill, I'm just linking to PTZOptics.com/voice that will list the compatible models.
Yes. So PTZOptics.com/voice. Also, PTZOptics.com/beta is where you'll be directed to get the actual firmware.
SevKit is giving a scenario for us. Mock-up courtroom at law faculty. Can the camera respond to perimeter microphones?
Ooh. What I'll say is that these microphones basically that are listed here. Now, Televic does support actual like gooseneck microphones and tabletop microphones. But like Nariva and some of these others, they basically put a microphone either on the wall or on the ceiling, and they can map out the whole space. So it can be separate from the installed microphone system. So in that scenario, like in the scenario we have now, we have these microphones right here, our podcast microphones. That's separate from the directional data coming from the Nariva. But the Nariva does a great job, and other microphones, beamforming microphones like this, of picking up audio in a large space. So if you have a large classroom, training room, or even a courtroom in some scenarios where you need to be able to hear everybody in the pews or everybody in the benches there, these microphones can do a really good job of that and steer the cameras to capture that where the audio is coming from. And I think our software currently supports 16 locations.
Yes,
Yep,
I believe that's
16
true.
zones, yeah.
The microphones need the network connection? I believe so.
They do in order to connect to our voice tracking software. As you'll see when they were setting it up, you use a token to log in, but then you'll have to set it up and connect your Nariva directly to that software.
Ooh, is the SuperJoy compatible?
Can
That
my
I don't
SuperJoy
know
be set
how
up
that
to
would
control
work.
Voice tracking. I think it's really a separate thing because SuperJoy is manual control.
Mm-hmm.
The SuperJoy can turn off and on auto tracking, and I think group tracking, depending
Yeah.
on how the automation's set up. But it cannot really, audio tracking is really coming from a separate source, which is the microphone. So the SuperJoy is really different. Now, that doesn't mean that the cameras can't be controlled by the SuperJoy. Like, you could manually control the SuperJoy and have the audio conferencing microphones could just be doing the video switching, right? So they could be doing video switching or camera control. That doesn't mean you can't use a SuperJoy. You can still use a SuperJoy to manually move things in and just have the audio tracking doing the video switching, or have it doing some PTZ control where you're doing the finer manual movements with the SuperJoy.
Lils wants to know, what are the minimum sizes of the zones?
That is a good question.
Yeah.
I wonder if someone from engineering knows.
John's in the chat. He's been helping out.
Okay. There is a minimum size, because I'm going to say maybe like 5 foot by 5 foot, or like 2 meters is probably a safe bet, but we'll see if someone comes in. Yeah, show it on the screen.
Okay.
Mike has it pulled up on his back end there.
Oh, I see.
So
there he is
that'll-
adjusting it. So that's the smallest area? 23 by 34.
Okay, so
Feet,
23
I
by
assume.
34 is the size of our space overall.
Oh, overall.
How big are those little blips? Because those are probably...
Yeah, probably a foot or two.
Yeah, it doesn't say it. It just says the full size of the space.
To me, it looks like about a meter. It looks like about a 3 foot by 3 foot.
Yeah, that would make sense. But
At least.
this is just for Nariva too as well.
Right.
The maximum area that one of these HDL 410s can pick up is 35 by 55 feet, or 10 meters by 16 meters.
Okay.
So that's the maximum space that one can hold. The minimum zone, we'll have to find that on the Nariva website. I'll Google it real quick.
Can our tracking cameras be used in medical facilities like training, operating rooms, or other medical facilities? Why, yes, of course.
Yes, of course they can. And you have different tracking modes as well. Composition modes if you want someone to be on the left side of the frame center or on the right side of the frame. So it's meant for tracking people. So if you're referring to tracking objects or hands or something besides just a human body or the top of the torso, then I would say no. But yeah, in general, you can track people in any kind of medical situation as long as you're talking about humans. Veterinarians, I don't know. We haven't tried horses or penguins yet, but we'll get there.
Zone size is up to the microphone, John is specifying.
Thank you, John. Wonderful engineer on our chat there. Any other questions jumping out?
I think we're almost ready for the giveaway. Which my new computer here doesn't have access to Gleam. Do you have access on your computer, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Alrighty, stay tuned. You have to be watching live in order to get the Move SE, which is part of our giveaway here. And stay tuned after the giveaway. We're going to talk about our upcoming trade show, and maybe we can see you there if you're going to be flying across the beautiful globe here. But stay tuned. We're pulling up Gleam now to do a giveaway of the Move SE.
The beautiful globe.
Yeah, the beautiful globe.
What a wonderful world.
Yeah, I almost said fly across the country, and I'm like, well, you're flying.
Across the world.
Yeah,
depending
not
where
really
you're
across
from.
the country. Yeah.
Okay, George Shapiro.
George Shapiro, are you
We're
here?
looking for George Shapiro in the chat. Give us a shout out. If you're in the chat, your name is George Shapiro. We want to see you.
Seth Kid says Paul never ages, which is great.
Thank you, Seth.
You're getting a compliment.
I'll send a link to the giveaway in case someone wants to still.
Is it still open?
I think so.
So we need to know your secrets, Paul.
Lion's
We
mane.
need to know.
What is the secret of eternal health?
Good genes.
Cut your hair tight. To not show the gray. I'm at the part of my age in my life where a little gray actually makes me look distinguished.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
it
So I'm not
does.
super afraid of the gray ones.
Yeah. A silver
because
fox.
they haven't taken over
Come
my
on.
whole head yet.
He says he's known you since USB 2 air times.
I know. We have been working together. We've been in business we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary at IBC in a couple of weeks. And man, Tess, those 10 years flew by.
I know. It's crazy.
Those were good times. I remember the USB 2 Air Kickstarter.
The Kickstarter we did together.
Successful. That was a lot of work. We worked really hard.
Can you guys control the headroom on the audio tracking? The headroom.
On the audio tracking. So if you're talking about the voice tracking that we just did, you're setting up based on a camera. So whatever your camera shot currently is, it's going to switch to that. So you could still manually control the camera, adjust, zoom in and out. And same with the presets. So if you have the preset the way you like it, or the shot currently lined up the way you like it, that's what it's going to do. It's not going to adjust or PTZ control unless you have it set to a preset, right? So it's just going to switch to your current input if that's what you want to do for audio switching. Otherwise, it'll switch to a preset, which may control pan, tilt, and zoom. But it's exactly the preset you want. It's not going to adjust on its own. All right, should we draw on someone else as well now?
All right.
Yeah, let's keep them coming.
You just tell me when and I'll do it.
We got a lot of entries today.
Yeah, almost 1,000 people entered. Thank you all.
Thanks for letting me know that you're in the chat, especially if you have an avatar name that makes it hard to.
So we're giving away a Move
pick
SE
you out.
every single month.
Is that too crazy? Have we lost our minds?
No, I think it's great. I was just confirming.
Is the software available for Mac? It's in the camera itself,
Yeah, so it's web-based.
so it's web-based.
Yep, just like the web UI that you use to log in and control the camera. And you can access that again at PTZOptics.com/beta. That will sign you up in the beta process. You get to the Discord. That'll then give you access to the new firmware. Or you can learn more and sign up to the beta for voice tracking specifically at PTZOptics.com/voice.
How does it handle background
Rainville.
noise and music? And we got a question about air conditioner too.
Ooh.
Well, we do have a loud computer in here that hasn't seemed to steal it from anyone yet.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's where those thresholds come into play as well.
Mhm.
Where if you've got a specific noise that's a problem, you just have to increase the threshold a
Okay.
little bit. Since we're here, by the way, as we're picking winners, can I give control of our cameras to some of the audience?
Why not?
The back wall cameras.
That's my favorite part of the day, is to see who goes crazy with the cameras. If you would like to have control of PTZ Optics Hive, Mike, maybe you can show my screen. But I can share with you access to control just this camera, Mike. So you don't be too worried. We've just got 2 cameras in here. But if anybody wants access to control this camera in PTZ Optics Hive, I'll click this share button. Just email me at paul@ptzoptics.com, and you can control these cameras right now. And take a look around our studio. You'll be able to see, like, for example, there's a Nariva microphone over there on that corner. You can kind of look around our studio and check it out remotely. So just email me and I will send you that. Now, next is Stephane Rainville. And then I'm just going to keep picking them
Yeah.
until you.
I'll keep putting them in the chat.
What was that? Stephanie Rainville? Is that what that was?
Stephanie,
Yeah. Stephane.
Stephane. So if you don't know, Hive Studio is a IP cloud-based platform that allows you to control not only PTZ cameras, you can control the camera settings of over 400 different cameras, and it's also a switcher and recorder. It's not currently out other than a limited beta, but stay tuned, as we'll be showing more at IPC very soon, next month. And you can learn more at PTZOptics.com/hive if you're interested, or control it today by emailing Paul.
I'm getting some emails in. This is great. I'm going to add you guys in so you can control the cameras.
Yeah, and if you're on the back walls, you got a beautiful little PTZ setup on our green screen here. If you can start to get in and access, you'll start to see the cool little setup we have over on the green screen. Might be some fun things to zoom in, or a brand new little cat clock you can zoom into that wags its eyes and tails.
Okay, here we go. Just sending out the invites
Trying
now.
to hack into
All right.
the giveaway.
Another giveaway? Winner?
Yeah, well,
Let's gleam it up.
David Grow.
David Grow.
You got it.
Are you here?
Spelling is impeccable, Tess.
Oh, really? Well, Grow's not that difficult. If you are not using a directional mic, just mic specifically on the speakers, can the system be configured to do the switching to speaker? To the speaker. Okay, gotta read that one again.
Read that one more time.
If you are not using a directional mic, just mic specifically on the speakers, can the tech system be configured to do the switching to the speaker?
Yes, so it's an IP controlled. The Noriva specifically that we're using is an IP controlled audio source, so you can bring that audio source directly in. So that's the use case I would say probably most are going to use. You're setting this up in a conference room, a lecture capture space, somewhere that you would just want to walk in and it's immediately doing its job, which is picking up your voices and showing you on camera. So in most situations, you can use 3.5 millimeter if you don't want to use it over IP, but you'll need the IP connection to connect to our camera and then connect to the voice switching software. So a little bit of yes and no. You can use it with third-party mics to pick up your voice while it's using the data from the Noriva, or you can actually use the audio signal from the Noriva if you'd like.
I got somebody in Hive controlling the cameras now.
Do you?
Nice.
So he's moving it around. It's good to see this. We've only got one person in Hive. We got 2 cameras, so if anybody else wants to come in, feel free. But that's our new remote production software. So feel free to email me and I'll pop you in.
Shout out to Live Control in the chat.
Oh, cool.
Oh, thanks for coming out, Live Control. That's awesome. Oh, wow. We're seeing the Hive back there. All right, another
Behind the
giveaway.
scenes look at our studio.
Phil, if you want
Yeah.
to try, just email me at Paul. I'll put my email in the chat. Paul at PTZOptics.com. All right, we're going to give another giveaway winner and just continue forward. No David Grow, huh?
Mm-mm.
I thought we made it very super clear about
Got to be live. Got to be watching.
Gotta be watching live.
Matthew Woods.
Matthew Woods, are you in the chat? We're looking for a winner of the new Move SE. That is a 1080p PTZ camera from our new line of cameras. And let me tell you, I would love to win one myself. I don't have one at home. I want one at home. You guys are lucky.
Which one would you go with? The wide angle 12X or
If I have the option, I would just go for the big boy, the 30.
Matt Woods
Matthew
is here.
Woods is here.
Oh, congrats,
Yay.
Matt.
All right. Tess, I'm gonna send you his email now.
Perfect. I will get that facilitated for you, Matt.
All right. Well, if there's any final questions, let us know. We've got a couple people in Hive checking it out. So that's cool. And I guess we're ready to wrap it up unless there's any questions.
You're going somewhere next month, aren't you, Paul?
Oh, yes. I did want to mention that we'll be at IBC,
Whoop,
the
whoop.
International Broadcast Convention in Amsterdam at the Rai Center. And if anyone is interested in getting live demos in Europe, this is the place to be. We're going to have live demos of Hive, a new 4K box camera, and we will be showing off the new voice tracking as well. So don't miss out. Check us out at booth 11, one September 13th to September 16th.
That's going to be a great show.
And if
Yeah.
you didn't win the Move SE today, don't worry, because the end of September will be another chance.
Yep.
The last Wednesday of every month.
Ideally, by the end of September, maybe it'll be October, who knows, but we'll have firmware for the Move SE cameras to link them directly to Hive.
That's exciting.
That's awesome.
So if you imagine this,
exciting.
you could take a PTZOptics Move SE, connect it to your Hive studio, send it anywhere in the world, and as soon as it's connected to the internet, you can remotely control it.
It's so exciting.
Wow.
So very excited for that technology to hit the market and really be available to all of you. IBC is a big milestone for us, and then hopefully Hive will be moving into a more public beta in September and October.
It's really exciting. Yeah, you can stay tuned to PTZOptics on YouTube for all the latest at IBC and all the latest features coming to our great cameras here. And Tess, is there anything else that we can wrap up with here before we say goodbye?
Just please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe if you're watching today. Every viewer counts. Thank you so much for being here with us, and we will see you the last Wednesday of September. Thanks again for tuning in.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Alan.